Hey guys, Lisa here, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about the newest expansion, the first expansion for the Year of the Dragon for Hearthstone, Rise of Shadows. This was just released today. 8 cards were revealed and some new mechanics revealed, so I'm going to get into all of that. First of all, just so you know, the new expansion drops April 9th. That is what I've heard, April 9th. So if you plan on pre-purchasing some of the offered bundles, make sure you do that before April 9th. Once the game is out or the new expansion is out, you will not be able to do that. Keep in mind, the Year of the Mammoth is rotating out when the new cards rotate in. So Ungoro will be leaving us, Frozen Thrones will be leaving us, and Kobolds and Catacombs will be leaving us. If you don't play Wild, that's going to leave you with a bunch of dust to craft these new cards, but you get some really good deals with the packs. So let's talk about the bundles that you could pre-purchase. Let's scroll into that. I believe it's a little bit. Here we go. 2 different bundles, depending on what you want. The first bundle is $50 US dollars. You get 50 packs for $50. You also get a random legendary card, and you get this cool new card back, Jewel of Lazul. That's the new card back. I've already seen some people using it on the ladder. If you decide to splurge a little bit more, you can get 80 packs for $80. And with that, you also get a golden legendary for free. And you get this new priest hero called Madame Lazul. So maybe you don't have Tyrande. You can get Madame Lazul, the new priest card, for $80. Again, make sure you do that before April 9th. Okay, so let's talk about the new cards. 8 cards were revealed. 3 new sort of mechanics were revealed as well with these 8 cards. So let's get into those. Before I get into that though, there are 5 Arch-Villains that come with the new expansion. The first one revealed was Arch-Villian Rafaam. It is a 7 mana 7/8. And let me just creep on over. There's 5. Let me just find this right. Hold on. There we go. Right here. Arch-Villian Rafaam is one of the 5 Arch-Villains. He's a Warlock card, and he's a taunt. 7 mana 7/8, so really good taunt stats for 7 mana. But he replaces your hand and your full deck with legendary minions. So everything you have, your deck, your hand, everything will be legendary. This is good for those who love RNG. For those who love legendary cards, they're like, yes, I can have all the legendary cards in the world. Bad for synergy, I would say. Probably not the strongest card. Maybe, I think you can find some good memes in here, but do I expect to see it in competitive standard decks? No. Do I expect people to take it in Arena? I could see that. Yeah, I could see that. So maybe more of an Arena deck. But that is Arch-Villian Rafaam. We have not heard about the 4 other Arch-Villains, but I know they're coming to us soon. Let's talk about the first neutral card that we were shown. This is Spellward Jeweler. Spellward Jeweler. 3 mana 3/4. So good stat lines. 3 mana, 3 attack, 4 health. So something that would be picked easily in Arena. And the battle cry is super strong. Your hero can't be targeted by spells or hero powers until your next turn. So in Arena, this is just a great card to pick because of the stat line. It's a premium 3-drop, which a lot of Arena players look for. But you can't be targeted at your face. And we hate when people target our face. Wow. Not even streaming right now, and I got a sub. Thank you, sir. So, Spellward Jeweler, your hero cannot be targeted by spells or hero powers until your next turn. So let's say in Standard, though, you want to play this card because you're afraid of being burned down. It's really hard to say if this is going to be good in a deck right now because we don't know how many burn decks are going to be in the meta. If a ton of burn decks show up in the meta, this is a good tech card. Otherwise, I don't see it being played in Standard, but I do definitely see it being a premium pick in Arena. Ooh, the first legendary, or second legendary. I talked about the first one. It's the first dragon card. It's a mage legendary dragon card. And I cannot pronounce it because I'm Kalecgos. I'm going to go with that. 10 mana 4/12. So keep in mind Ysera's a 9 mana 4/12. This is a 10 mana 4/12. So at first you're like, oof, the stats. But the battle cry is your first spell each turn costs 0. So every turn your first spell costs 0. And you have a battle cry to discover a spell. This is huge because you play the card and you get a free spell to play that turn because that would be your first spell you played that turn because there's no way you're playing. I mean, I guess you could play a coin, but you probably don't want to because that would be your free spell. So ordering doesn't matter, but it's 10 mana, so there's not likely that you're going to play another spell that turn. So, for example, in the video, they showed them picking a Flame Strike, Flame Striking the board, getting the board back. It's a great turnaround card. I definitely think this could be used in Mage. Some people are starting to kind of pick up on Dragon Mage. Is this a thing? So, yeah, I definitely think this card's awesome, and I can't wait to use it. How strong it'll be? I don't know. It kind of depends how strong Mage becomes because Mage is kind of weak right now, except for Odd Mage, which we know is rotating out because Baku is rotating out with the Hall of Fame. But I think this card looks really exciting. Alright, our first neutral legendary is Chaf Nomi. Nami. 7 mana 6/6. Now this is kind of huge. Battle cry, if your deck is empty, no cards in your deck, summon 6 6/6s. That's purely evil. Summon 6 6/6s. Greasefire Elementals. So if you have no cards left in your deck, you play this card and you have a full board of 6 6s. This is huge. I mean, how many times have you gotten to a fatigue matchup where you have no cards left and you're just struggling with whatever you have left over in your deck? I mean, this gives you a full board of full power. That's a huge deal. I could see fatigue matchups where just the first person to slam this after they lose all their cards wins. It's pretty awesome. I would say this is going to be a good card in Standard. And Arena, I'm not sure about Arena. Maybe Priest will pick it up, but not quite positive on that one. The next card is the Forest Aid. And before we talk about the Forest Aid, let's talk about where it says Twinspell. Twinspell is a new mechanic for Hearthstone. This expansion, Twinspell kind of works like Echo, where you get to play a card twice. But you don't have to play it twice this turn. Obviously, this card costs 8. You can't play it twice in one turn. So what happens is you get the Echo card, but you can play it any other turn. You can play it the next turn, or you could play it even the turn after that. I mean, any turn you can play this second version of it. So it's almost like you can run more than 2 of the same cards in your deck. Normally, you can only run 2 rare cards, but now it's like running 4 almost, you know? So really cool new mechanic, Twinspell. And this one in particular is a druid. Summon 5 2/2 treants. So trying to really build that treant vibe for druids, even though it's really not taking so far. Maybe it will in the future. So this one will summon 5 2/2s for 8 mana. And you can do it again later. This is the strongest thing. I'm going to say no, it's kind of expensive, so you don't have much to do after that. By the time you get to 8 mana, you really want bigger minions than a bunch of 2/2s. I'm going to say it's weak, but, you know, let's wait and see if it has something to build off of. Alright, the first Shaman card, Hagatha Scheme. Scheme is another new mechanic that is thrown into the most recent expansion. And the way a scheme works is it gets upgraded every single turn. So this is a 5 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions. That sounds pretty awful to me, but it's a scheme card. So what happens is every turn it sits in your hand, it gets better and better. So by the next turn, it's in your hand, it's deal 2 damage to all minions. By the next turn, it's deal 3 damage to all minions. So if this is sitting in your hand forever, I mean, it could just do 1 billion damage to all minions. Obviously, you're not going to do that. There's a turn limits, but it gets better and better with time. So this would have to sit in your hand for a while to be good, which worries me because a lot of times you need to kind of top deck things for them to be successful. And you wouldn't want, like, this would be a great turn 5 play, but for it to be successful, you want it to do 5 AoE, and that would mean you'd have to hold it on turn 1 So this card has me hesitant. As of now, I'm going to say this card isn't great. But there might be other scheme cards that are amazing, and I'm excited for the mechanic. So, oof! Evil Miscreant! 3 mana, 1/5 combo. Add 2 random lackeys to your hand. So lackey is the third kind of new mechanic. I don't know if you call lackey mechanic. They're these new little minions. They're a bunch of 1/1 minions, and there's a ton of them. You can see a couple of them in the video, but we can't see them in full, so we don't exactly know what the cards are. But there are these 1/1 minions that have crazy cool battle cries. So this is an Evil Miscreant that adds 2 random lackeys to your hand. And it's a combo card, so you might not actually get it. But I have no idea how good this card is because I don't know how good the lackeys are going to be yet. So I'm really excited to see what these little lackeys are, how you can get the lackeys. This is obviously a rogue card because it's a combo card. But I'm sure all the classes will have ways to get the lackeys. So that's going to be really exciting to see all the lackey cards and see the ways to get the lackeys. I think it's pretty cool. All right. Priest card, Forbidden Words. 0 mana, but obviously not 0 mana. Spend all your mana, destroy a minion that's with that much attack or less. So let's say you have 7 mana and you use this card, then you can kill something with 7 attack or less. Now let's say you have 10 mana, then you spend 4 mana, then you use this one second, then you can kill something with 6 attack or less. I think this card will probably do well in Arena. I don't see it in Constructed as of now because it kind of seems slow to me. But again, I don't really know what's happening in Constructed yet. Maybe there's going to be a really cool new Miracle deck. The Lyra is rotating, so I don't know. But I think this is a good card for Arena. And I think it's really interesting. And then the last card we already talked about, Arch-Villian Rafaam, is one of the Arch-Villains and the Warlock card. And again, fun card. Probably not the best, but you know, you can probably have fun with it. He looks super awesome. I dig it. Alright, that's all I have for you today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button if you like the video, and I will keep making videos for all the next cards that come out. There are 135 cards to be revealed, so a lot more to go over before April 9th, and I hope to see you guys more. Bye!